Thank you so much. That was lovely. Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Society. We are grateful to gather on this beautiful morning, both in person and online, for a time of inspiration, reflection, and connection. Whether you join us today with joy in your heart, weighted with burdens, or searching for meaningful connections, we are glad that you are here. I'm Bren Lindley, Worship Associate of the Unitarian Universalist Society. My pronouns are she, they. I am a short, white woman in my 50s with long gray and brown hair that's piled on top of my head in a messy bun. I'm wearing glasses and a pink bow tie with flowers. I am standing in the UUS's pulpit at the front of our sanctuary. Our sanctuary is filled with people of all ages, and through the window walls of our sanctuary, we connect to the outdoors, where it is sunny and hot. As we gather, we give thanks for this land and all who have cared for it over the centuries, particularly the Kickapoo, the Iowa, the Sauk, and the Meskwaki, and the Oceti-Sakowin nations. As people of many ages, genders, races, sexual orientations, classes, abilities, and health statuses, we know how important it is to come together as a radically welcome spiritual community. As Unitarian Universalists, our faith expresses our core value of love throughout how we agree to be together and to support each other. We are guided by the shared principles, sources, and values of our living religious tradition this morning as we navigate the discussion around work-life balance. As work frees us up to engage and live within our 8 principles, we will celebrate each of the 8 principles in ways big and small, more to come. If you're newer to our congregation, we invite you to learn more about us after the service. For those here in person, you can talk together, talk to a greeter in the atrium. For those online, there is a link to a visitor form in YouTube notes that will let us connect with you. And now for our call to worship. I Hear America Singing by Walt Whitman. I hear America singing, the varied carols I hear, those of mechanics, each one singing his as it should be blithe and strong. The carpenter singing his as he measures his plank or beam. The mason singing his as he makes ready for work or leaves off work. The boatman singing what belongs to him in his boat. The deckhand singing on the steamboat deck. The shoemaker singing as he sits on his bench. The hatter singing as he stands. The woodcutter's song, the plowboy's on his way in the morning or at noon, intermission, or at sundown. The delicious singing of the mother or of the young wife at work or of the girl sewing or washing, each singing what belongs to him or her and to none else. The day, what belongs to the day. At night, the party of young fellows, robust, friendly, singing with open mouths their strong, melodious songs.
Good morning. Time to wake up. This is a hymn, Quaker Shaker song that we've sung many times before. We're going to go through it twice. Please rise in body and spirit as you're able. A gift to be simple, 'tis a gift to be free, 'tis a gift to come down where we ought to be. And when we find ourselves in a place just right, 'twill be in the valley of love and delight. When true simplicity is gained, to bow and to bend we shan't be ashamed. To turn will be our delight, till by turning we come round right. 'Tis a gift to be simple, 'tis a gift to be free, 'tis a gift to come down where we ought to be. And when we find ourselves in the place just right, we'll be in the valley of love and delight. When true simplicity is gained, to bow and to bend we shan't be ashamed. To turn will be our delight, till by turning we come round right. Thank you.
As Unitarian Universalists, we light a flame within a chalice as a symbol of sanctuary and safety to unite us in our worship and to remind us of our ongoing search for the light of truth. Please join me in our chalice lighting as Amy and William light our chalice. Life is a gift for which we are grateful. We gather in community to celebrate the wonder and mystery of this great gift. So let us now kindle the flame of our religious tradition and heritage and renew our covenant of mutual love and care. Love is our doctrine, the quest for truth is our sacrament, and service is our prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom, and to serve those in need. This we promise, this we covenant with life and one another. Each week we light a candle for justice and healing to acknowledge our interdependence with the natural world and with all members of the global community, especially the most vulnerable. We light this candle so that we may not be numbed to injustice and trauma, but rather find strength, courage, and love as we work in solidarity with others for liberation, justice, and healing. Together we create resilience and hope. Today, as we light this candle, we're particularly mindful of the rights of workers to fair pay, safe working conditions, and the inequities and injustice we still see today, especially for marginalized folks. Additionally, we hold space for the mass shooting in Jacksonville, Florida, the professor killed at the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, the victims of the wildfires in Maui, and those affected by Hurricane Idalia in Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, and South Carolinas. As I light this candle, let's hold a time of silence and to listen to our hearts, our bodies, or perhaps to lift up prayers.
Good morning and hello. My name is Leah Kaminsky, and if you do not already know, I am the new RE coordinator here at this church, UUS. And today, for Time of All Ages, we're going to be reading a book called Good People Everywhere. And if you so feel inclined, you can come join. There's plenty of space. And of course, it will be on the screen for you guys to follow along as well. I'll open up a little bit more. Again, this is good people everywhere. Today, in neighborhoods all over the world, millions and millions of people are doing very good things. Today, carpenters are building fences and houses and repairing homes that have been damaged by storms. Today, moms and dads are cooking dinners for their families, and cooks are working in kitchens making meals for people who don't have homes. Doctors and midwives are delivering babies and gently passing them into the eager arms of their parents. Teachers are teaching math, spelling, and reading skills. Musicians are opening their hearts and playing beautiful music. And dancers are leaping across dance floors, practicing performances that will bring joy to their friends, their families, and their communities. Today, people are planting seeds, picking fruits and vegetables, and driving them to grocery stores all over the world so you can have a ripe, juicy orange in your lunch. Today, a child is trying her very best to do well on her science test, and a teenage boy is helping a young child who is sad and lonely. Today, a first-grade boy is helping a friend who has a skinned knee. And a big sister is holding her baby brother while her mother runs across the street to help a neighbor. Today, millions and millions of people will do very good things. And so will you. I wonder what you will do. Thank you. This is a time where I'm going to be lighting the lantern. I don't know if this will. I need help. Should I just get a candle?
And children, youth, and teachers, take the flame of our chalice so that you might have with you the light, the love, and the hope of this gathered community as you explore your faith together. We send you with our blessings and love. Ritual is new. We're getting used to it. So thank you for practicing with us. As we enter into our time of meditation, contemplation, and prayer, we acknowledge the joys and sorrows of our congregation. We do this by dropping stones into a bowl of water, symbolically immersing our personal joys and sorrows into the flow of all of life's joys and sorrows. The water surrounds and holds the stone just as we are surrounded and held by love and support of this congregation. If you're participating in the service elsewhere, you may wish to meditatively hold a stone, wash your hands, or meditate on an object near you. And now, if you're in the sanctuary, please come forward, take a stone from the basket, and place your stone in the water as we sing together. May we hold the joys and sorrows of our congregation and the wider community tenderly in our hearts and minds today. When we need a listening ear or heart or a helping hand, may we reach out. And we know of needs, may we offer support and loving kindness. For it is in sharing our lives, our cares, and our joys, and in giving and receiving that we know community most fully, that we have the opportunity to live and covenant with one another. Amen. Blessed be. I'm sure most of you have heard the jar of life, rocks, pebbles, and sand story. If you've not, here's a quick refresher. A philosophy professor once stood before a class with a large empty jar. He filled the jar with large rocks and asked his students if the jar was full. The students said yes, the jar was full. Then he added small pebbles to the jar and asked again, is the jar full now? The students agreed that the jar was indeed full. The professor then poured sand into the jar and asked again. The students then agreed that the jar was finally full. The professor went on to explain that the jar signifies one's life. The rocks are equivalent to the most important things in your life, such as family, health, and relationships. And if the pebbles and the sand were lost, the jar would still be full, and your life would still have meaning. The pebbles represent the other things that matter in your life, such as work, school, and home. These things come and go and are not permanent or essential to your overall well-being. And finally, the sand represents the remaining small stuff, material possessions in your life. The things that don't mean much to your life as a whole and are likely only done to waste time or get small tasks accomplished. The metaphor here is that if you start putting sand into the jar, you won't have room for rocks or pebbles. And that holds true for the things you let into your life too. If you spend all of your time on the small, insignificant things, you'll run out of room for the things that are actually important. So in order to have a more effective life, you should prioritize important things in your life and then worry about pebbles and sand at a later time. I believed in this story. I had put it into practice in my personal and professional life too. There's another side of the story, another side that no one has told you yet. While practicing this theory for a while now, I've realized that if I always try to focus on the most important things or goals in my life, then I procrastinate on the other tasks that seem lower priority. Over a period, those lower priority tasks start piling up, and the more I delayed taking care of these tasks, the more inertia it built up to complete those tasks. The most harmful side effect of delaying lower priority tasks was the longer the list of such lower priority tasks grew, the more stress it started adding to my daily routine. The problem with focusing primarily on the most important things is, since they're the most important things in your life, they also take longer to complete and more bandwidth to accomplish. And because you're constantly swamped up with the most important things, you never get to the lower priority things in your life. And at some point, I decided to stop following this mantra, prioritizing the most important things first. Some days, I start taking care of the lower priority tasks first. This way, as the day starts, I can check off a few things from my plate, and then in the second half of the day, work on the most important tasks. The benefit of taking care of a few lower priority tasks first was it would start building the momentum. There was a sense of achievement and progress, and that momentum would actually help me work on the important and difficult tasks with a positive mindset. So instead of following the rocks, pebbles, and sand story blindly as it was told, I would recommend modifying it a bit, where instead of filling the jar with only rocks first and then pebbles, etc., fill it with a few rocks, then a few pebbles, then some sand, maybe some more rocks, pebbles, and more sand. This way, you're making balanced progress in all areas. Another approach you can consider at the macro level, monthly or annually, prioritize the most important things, but at the micro level, daily or weekly, keep it flexible as the situation and needs flex at the time. Balance, it's all about finding your balance, and remember, you get to pick and choose which little pebbles you drop in your jar, and you don't have to fill that jar all the way to the top.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Quanda Hood. I am a worship associate here at UU, or at least I'm trying to be. My pronouns are she and her. A medium height, middle-aged brown woman wearing a black shirt, purple boa, and purple sparkly crown, because life is short, and why not live it to its fullest? And I'm also sort of wearing this to don what I titled the discussion today, which is life is all about balance, and sometimes I fall down when pulling my pants on. So my fellow seeker of wisdom, Today we gather to explore a topic that resonates deeply within the core of our being, the delicate and often elusive dance of work-life balance. In a world filled with constant demands, endless tasks, and the relentless pursuit of success, how do we find harmony between the responsibilities of work and nourishment of our souls? Particularly important in light of what tomorrow signifies, which is Labor Day. This morning's discussion revolves around a quote on my Facebook page. I genuinely believe that life is about balance, finding that delicate equilibrium that works to serve you through your life, which pebbles, sand, and rocks you put in your jar. We must intentionally balance our existence so that we are not trapped on one end or the other of life's teeter-totter. Don't work too much, but playing often doesn't pay for the 10 streaming services we now pay for that when we showed Comcast, the business for overpriced services. Conversely, being a workaholic leads to you realizing, perhaps when it's too late, that life was what was happening when you were too busy to notice. I try to live in 60% of the bell curve, vacillating between the extremes. I try to live a good life. And yes, once I did fall down putting my pants on. In my defense, it was post-surgery. I was a little off my game, but it did remind me that I'm human and subject to the frailties of my body and my mind. And if you know me, falling down always cracks me up. But the slapstick nature of life reminds us that we will make mistakes, intentional or not. However, at the end of the day, that we as UUs are called to do, what we're called to do is enveloped in balance. Justice, equity, compassion, acceptance, wholeness, spiritual growth, search for truth, meaning, democratic process, peace, liberty, all to understand every person's inherent worth and dignity, including ourselves. Let us reflect on the teachings of old, for even ancient wisdom offers us guidance in this modern quest for equilibrium. The sacred text reminds us that even a divine creator rested after the universe creation, if that's what you believe. This divine example sets the stage for us to acknowledge that rest is not just a necessity, it's a sacred act, a recognition of our humanity and a testament to our trust in the rhythm of life. Our lives are mosaic roles of professionals, parents, partners, friends, and more. Each role comes with its own set of demands, and it's easy to get lost in the ceaseless whirlwind of responsibilities. True life-work balance is not about perfectly dividing our time between work and leisure, but it's about understanding the ebb and flow of our energy, recognizing our limits, and embracing the art of saying no when necessary. It's about acknowledging that rest is not a sign of weakness, but a source of strength, and renews our spirit and enhances our productivity. In our pursuit of balance, let us also remember the importance of presence. At work, let us be fully present, pouring our passion and creativity into our tasks, or just surviving the day. And when we step away from work, let us be equally present in the embrace of our loved ones, in warmth of solitude, and in the beauty of nature. Presence allows us to savor the moments that truly matter, whether they're accomplishments in the office or the joy of laughter shared with family and friends. Moreover, the path to balance is not solitary, but communal. Let us foster an environment where open conversations about work-life balance are encouraged and supported. As a community, we share our struggles and triumphs, like in our joys and sorrows, offering each other a lifeline of understanding and empathy. Together, we can challenge the prevailing notion that busyness equates to worthiness, and instead, we can celebrate a life well lived in harmony. Remember that the quest for work-life balance is not a destination, but a journey. It's about continuous self-awareness, adapting to change, and evolving habits. Let us embark on this journey with a heart full of intention, a spirit eager to learn, and a willingness to prioritize our well-being. But there is a conundrum. Next slide. Using Maslow's hierarchy of needs, let us reveal and discuss this dissonance. In summary, Maslow's hierarchy of needs highlights the importance of addressing basic psychological and safety needs and a higher level psychological and self-fulfillment needs to achieve a healthy work-life balance. Taking time to rest and relax is essential for meeting those needs, as it helps us reduce stress, maintain physical and mental health, nurture relationships, and pursue personal growth and self-actualization. Balancing work and life benefits your well-being and contributes to your overall development and fulfillment as a human being. Abraham Maslow was a Jewish psychologist of Russian origin. He conceived the pyramid of human needs as a quest to find the meaning of life, especially in modern-day America, where materialism often overshadows deeper aspirations. He divided human needs into 5 categories: the psychological, food, water, rest; safety, security, and protection; belongingness and love, friendships and relationships; esteem and respect, and self-actualization, fulfilling one's potential. In a short video I watched entitled Why Maslow's Hierarchy of Needs by the School of Life explains that this pyramid format resonates because it simplifies the complexity of human desires. Maslow's theory addressed fundamental questions about our priorities and what we truly seek in life. If highlighted, the need to balance material and spiritual aspects with the base supporting while the summit provides direction. Maslow's approach countered extreme spiritual or materialistic perspectives, emphasizing the multifaceted nature of humanity. He was intrigued by capitalism's material resources, but criticized its focus on basic needs at the expense of spiritual growth. Towards the end of his life, Maslow hoped businesses could fulfill higher spiritual psychological needs besides basic ones, promoting enlightened capitalism. In personal life, Maslow's pyramid serves as a valuable tool for self-reflection, revealing imbalances in priorities and guiding individuals towards a more harmonious life. So here lies that connection. When the 2 bottom levels of Maslow's hierarchy are achieved, it frees us to engage fully in the 3 levels above: belonging and love, esteem, needs, and self-actualization. Currently, the distance between those who are just surviving and those who can actually take time to delve deeply into those 3 key components that truly develop us into exceptional humanity is growing exponentially. We are so mired in the daily minutiae of just existing that there's little time for what I like to call those top 3 layers, the road to higher abstracted reasoning. And it often feels like society is in on it. We see legislation that serves to curtail the pathways to self-actualization, bartering and limiting people's fundamental rights to food, water, healthcare, safety, etc. This fruitless cycle keeps us locked into the sedentary doom of partially fulfilled lives. I'm not conjecturing that conservatism and one particular political party are suppressing our potential, but when viewed through Maslow's lens, it's not difficult to see that when we serve to legislate and make rules that define what one group is believed to live and exist the right way, we are unbalancing another person's opportunity to live a life well lived. Many of the conduits to the top 3 levels are self-expression through the arts, music, and humanities, wearing a crown or a purple boa. Those are the professions and programs that are often the first cut, mocked, or made fun of, viewed purely as mere entertainment instead of the pursuit of borderline divine reasoning. Suppress the dreamer, and you will have an almost willing participant in one's own self-destruction, if not stunted growth. Let's commit right here and right now that we will nurture and care for our ability to work to live and not live to work. Mind you, I'm not discounting or overlooking the benefits of many other pathways to enlightenment, such as sports or recreation or competition. Still, legislators aren't banning Super Bowl's multi-billion-dollar dividends, books about Vince Lombardi, and Let's Go Brandon signs. We are watching companies that have been rolling back their stances on remote work. Amazon, Google, and ironically, even Zoom are requiring workers to go back into the office Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, for the in-person grind. Whether white or blue collar, many folks began to rely on that flexibility, less commute time, more times with the kids. Heck, even being environmentally conscious, it had to have reduced some of our CO2 levels. At least I hope it did. No matter who you are and what your profession, all of us deserve time to work and rest, and to do whatever makes us happy and joyous, because it is through those pursuits that we produce not things, but us. There is always time to stop and sit under a tree and feel the breeze on your face. There is always time for closing your eyes and taking 3 deep breaths. There is always time to read a book. There's always time for that one last bedtime story. There is always time to stop and take reverence, marveling at creation, existence, the divine universe, and our place in it, adding big and small rocks to our jars as we see fit. Don't forget to pay the mortgage, buy the new soccer cleats, walk the dog, mow the lawn, drop off the recycling, and prep for work on Tuesday. But stop. Breathe. 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 It's all about balance, and it's okay if you fall down and lie there for a bit. As we move forward from this sacred gathering, let us commit to nurturing ourselves as ardently as we pursue our outer goals. Let us embrace rest as a divine gift and honor the rhythm of our lives. In doing so, we will uncover a profound truth that work and rest, when held in perfect harmony, or the best harmony we can manage, compose the melody of a life genuinely well-balanced and deeply fulfilled. May you find strength in your pursuits, grace in your rest, and a sense of purpose in every step of this beautiful dance. Namaste.
How we give, what we do with our lives, our time, and our resources is a reflection of our values. In response to the abundance we are blessed with every week, this congregation donates generously to organizations in the community whose work aligns with our values and principles. Our community partner agency this month is the Shelter House. Since 1983, Shelter House has provided safe shelter and helped people improve the quality of their lives as they move beyond homelessness. Shelter House operates a 70-bed emergency shelter in addition to 4 homes and an apartment building, through which they provide over 60 permanent, supportive housing units. Shelter House focuses on programs and support services including housing, employment, and mental health recovery that helps hundreds of adults, children, and families each year to get back on their feet. They aim to be a voice for systemic community change through excellence in service, financial stewardship, and the development of strong community partnerships. In the sanctuary, the ushers will collect the offering, or you can follow the instructions on the screen for how to give online. All cash contributions go directly to our community partner agency. In addition to assisting our community partner, you may contribute toward your pledge to our society or contribute to the congregation to provide additional support for our operating expenses. You may also contribute by check using the memo line to designate the purpose. The offering is a sign of commitment to this free congregation, which is almost completely supported by the generosity of all who join with us. As we give and receive the offering, may we be transformed by our giving, and may the world be transformed by our gifts. Nurturing gratitude and how we understand and express interdependence is part of how we live into our Unitarian Universalist faith. May what has been shared today help us more fully affirm our interconnection and live into love and justice. Immediately after the service, we gather in the fellowship hall and outside for conversation and community. Our discussion questions, which you may want to chat about during coffee hour, are: discuss the privilege of having a work-life balance. And what are you actively doing to engage in the top 3 layers of Maslow's hierarchy of needs? And now, to close our service today, we will sing Step by Step, The Longest March, led by Jim Laughlin. Please rise in body and spirit as you are able.
I'm not going to lie to you, I've never seen this hymn before. Hopefully we can struggle through it together. Okay? All right. He's going to play it through one introduction, then we'll sing through it twice. Step by step, the longest march can be won. Many times can turn an arch, singly none. And by union, what we will can be accomplished too. Drops of water turn a mill, singly none. Step by step, the longest march can be won. Many stones can form an arch, singly none. And in union, when we will, can be accomplished till. Drops of water turn a mill, singly none. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim and Vincent. Thank you. Please join me in the words for extinguishing the chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. All these we carry in our hearts and in our minds until we are together again.
May you find harmony in the cadence of your days, balancing the pursuit of professional excellence with the embrace of personal joy. May your work invigorate your spirit and your life outside of work replenish your soul. In this equilibrium, may you discover true fulfillment and lasting happiness. Blessed be.
Okay, cool. All right. Can you lead us in?